Hey, I'm Jeremy Jones. I want to welcome you to my video, Jibbing with Jeremy Jones. This is a project that MDP and myself are going to bring to you so you can learn how to jib. Jibbing for me consists of handrails downstairs, handrails in snowboard parks, concrete ledges, anything wood, garbage cans, picnic tables, rainbow logs, anything that you can bonk, slide, or spin around on. I remember the days growing up and my mom would always be on my back about doing my homework. But little did she know I was in my basement studying Hard, the Hungry, and the Homeless and Up in the End. Countless times I'd watch those movies, just studying the way that these guys did their tricks, like Nate Cole and Roan Rogers, Noah Selaznick, Dale Raybury. The tricks that they were doing that was putting them at the top and making them professional. I wanted to know what it felt like. I needed to know what it felt like to be in the zone that those guys were in. So me and my boys went after this task and made it our goal to get this good. And this is where our seeds took root in snowboarding, and this is what became our lives. And so I'm bringing to you the things that I learned to make it easier for you. So a key thing for you to lock down these tricks that we're going to cover in this movie is going to be your crew. Your crew is so important and influential in your snowboarding, as well as getting your back out there in the streets. Say maybe you tumble down some stairs and crack your head open. You might need a ride to the hospital, or you might need your boy to rip the shirt off his back and wrap it over your head. Who knows? Some of the most influential snowboarders in my career have been JP Walker and Mitch Nilsson. They helped me push my snowboarding to the next level. And Seth Hewitt, he's helping me maintain it, and I know he's always got my back out there in the streets. Without these guys, I've got nothing. And without your crew, you won't either. For board slides, one of the key things is the second you start putting this in, you want to eyeball the end of the rail, since that's your goal and that's where you're trying to head. And then once you're on the rail, you want to center it up. It's easier to control your balance and stay focused when you're in the center between your 2 feet. And you just square up with your shoulders, that's the main idea. Your edge work is very little, you want to stay flat based, maybe a tiny bit of heel pressure just to gauge and control your balance and your speed.
When you're doing a board slide, you want to pick your line into the rail. That's the first thing. Creating a triangle with the angle of your board and the end of the rail. This is a general guide I use for lining up most tricks so that I slide to the end of the rail. Now that you have your line in, crouch a little and get ready to snap up to the rail. Timing is everything. If you snap your ollie right with the right line in, you'll be sliding the end of the rail whether you like it or not. After a nice ollie, you'll need to turn your head, shoulders, and board, in that order, 90 degrees to the handrail. Take a quick look at the spot on the rail you've picked to land on. Now square your board up on the rail between your feet. This is the key lock-in spot for your best control. As soon as you're locked in, start looking to the end of the rail. Stay looking at the end of the rail the whole time. This is a must-do. Hold it all tight and square till the end of the rail. Do a nice little pop out and turn your head, shoulders, and board back to forward again. Once you dial it, take it to fakie. Again, snap a clean ollie, turn your head, shoulders, and board, square it up between your feet, slide to the end of the rail, do a nice little pop out, turn it back to forward. That's your board slides for you.
Okay, and so for frontside board slides, they're a little trickier because your back is going down the rail, so it's a little harder to eyeball the end of the rail, but you still want to do the same thing. Focus on your end point. Once you get in, you square up again between your feet, and your edge work on this one's a little bit toes because you don't want to be hooking your heels and going to your back down the stairs. So a little bit of toe work just to kind of keep your balance. Center it up between the 2 feet and eyeball the end of the rail. Keep your shoulders turned, and that's kind of the general idea for your frontside board slides.
Again, you will want to pick a good line. I like to aim the nose of my board toward the end of the handrail. Once again, timing the ollie is super important. Crouch down just a little bit and spring your ollie. You want to turn your hips backside toward the rail, and your shoulders will be held in a similar position as your approach. As you put your board on the handrail, start to look for the end of the rail under your front arm, as well as transferring weight to your front foot. Square it between your feet to maximize control and style. A lot of kids like to balance more on their front foot, so you can go this route also. Hold your position as tight as possible through the slide. A nice little pop out and turn of your shoulders and hips back down the hill will set you up for a perfect stomp. Again, you'll want to pick a good line, pop a clean ollie, turn your hips towards the handrail, look under your front arm towards the end of the handrail, square it between your feet, turn your shoulders and hips for a nice little pop out and a perfect stomp. Frontside boardslides.
One of the main things to focus on the frontside 50-50 is when you're putting this in, you're going to put your even pressure on your front and back foot. Catch the bar with your heels just a little bit. Rock up top, square up your shoulders over the top of the rail, look at the end of the rail, since that's your end point again, and just ride it all the way down. It's pretty basic from this point.
Again, you're going to want to pick a really good line into the handrail. On your approach, crouch down a little bit and get ready to pop your ollie. Again, timing is everything, so nail your ollie and you'll be stoked. Keep your line you picked on the run up until you're over the handrail. When you're over the rail, aim your nose straight down the rail. For a frontside 50-50, you want to catch the rail just a little bit with your heels when you put it in. Be very gentle with this step because it can backfire and it's not rad. Rock up to the top of the rail until you're flat based on the bar. Now keep your shoulders lined up with the rail. Look at the end of the rail and hold your position until the bottom of the rail. Crack a little ollie off the end for steez and stick the landing. Again, pick a nice line in, pop a perfect ollie, time it just right. Place your board in even pressure on your front and back foot. Catch the rail just a little bit with your heels, rock up to the top, line your shoulders up with the handrail, look at the end of the rail, and hold it till the end. Pop a nice little ollie off the end, and stick it.
Backside, you're going to do the same thing. Ollie up, even pressure on your front and back foot, catch it with your toes just a little bit, rock it up top, same thing. Shoulders squared up over the top of the rail, go to the end.
Again, you want to pick a good line in, and you want to crouch down a little bit for your pop and your ollie. You want to time it just right, and if you do that, everything should work out. Keep your line you picked until you're over the handrail. When you're over the rail again, point your nose straight down the rail. This time you're going to catch the rail just a little bit with your toes because it's backside. Once you catch the rail, rock up to the top of the rail until you're flat based on the bar. Now keep your shoulders lined up with the rail, look to the end of the rail, hold your position until the bottom. Crack a little ollie off the end and stick your landing. Again, you want to ride in, good line, pop a nice ollie, catch the rail just a little bit with the toes, rock up to the top, square your shoulders up with the rail, look to the end of the rail and hold your position to the bottom. Pop a little ollie off the end, backside 50-50s.
Me and a lot of the other guys that I snowboard with, we have two snowboards. We have a mountain board and we have a jib board. And the jib board is usually really dull edges and pretty much unrideable on the mountain. It's a lot softer, it's shorter, but it just glides and it makes the snowboarding on the handrails a lot easier and a lot more maneuverable and controlled. So this board is straight from the factory, right out of the bag. Razor blade edges, 90-degree angle. This is a bad scene for handrails and for the steel on the mountain and in the streets, because that's just gonna gouge in and it's gonna hook you up and send you to your back or your head or your face, whatever else you could possibly land on. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna round these edges and make it more conducive to that kind of riding. And I'm gonna do that with this file. For my jib board, my street board, I'm gonna take them down from tip to tip and I'm just gonna round the whole thing, make it completely unrideable on the mountain. It will not turn. For the mountain, I'm going to do the same thing, but in between my feet. Just keep it nice and round. I still have edges out here on the sides, and we're going to still be able to turn and get down the hill just good, and we'll be able to slide, so that'll be more all around. Okay, so we started out, we got this board standing straight up. I got it in a board holder. If you don't have one of those, you can do it between your knees, prop it against a car tire or something, or rocks on the ground, whatever. So what we're going to do is we got this nice razor blade edge, nice and sharp. We're going to take this file and we're going to just take that sharpness just right off and get nice and smooth. Just peel those babies down till it's nice and round. Takes a while. It's better than a fractured skull. I can't fail to mention the risks that are involved in learning these tricks, in rail riding in general. A lot of times there's concrete stairs and you get paid and it hurts. You're sliding down them on your face, you're sliding down them on your back. You're taking hippers, you're taking shinners. It's very painful, and if you're not willing to take the risk, then please do not do it. And if you don't feel good about doing the trick, then don't do it at all. Just walk away from it. Coming in for lip slides, they're a little bit different. Once you get on, you're going to do the same kind of balance and edge work as your board slides. But once you come over, you just want to make sure you're clearing your tail every single time, whether it's backside or whether it's frontside. That's your main thing. Clear that tail, because if you hook that up, you're going down and there's no stopping it. I like to work my front foot a little bit more on the lip slides and then kind of bring it back in and center it up. Eyeball the end of the rail. Same thing. At this point, it's just a board slide.
Frontside lip slides. You're going to want to approach the rail, crouch down ready to ollie, just like everything else. I like to come into lip slides a little bit wider than 50/50s and board slides, so that I make sure that my tail clears the bar when I lap it over the top. Snap your ollie and turn your shoulders frontside and let your bottom half follow. I like to catch the bar a little closer to my front foot. Your shoulders should be 90 degrees to the rail, and you should be looking to the end of it. Center up your weight. At this point, it should feel close to a board slide. Hold your style in position all the way to the end. Snap a clean pop, turning your shoulders back to forward for a clean stick, and absorb your landing just a bit. Dial it in Then you can try taking it to fakie. Again, approach the rail a little wider than your 50-50s and boards. Pop a clean ollie, turn your shoulders frontside, let your body follow. Catch the bar closer to your front foot, center up your weight, spot the end of the handrail, look at it all the way through the slide, pop a nice ollie out, turning your shoulders back to forward, stick your landing clean.
Backside lip, same thing. Come in, I kind of work my front foot and then try and center it up. And then square up my shoulders, eyeball the end of the rail the best that I can, and just go to the end, ride it out.
Backside lip slides. Same approach as your front lips, a little wider than boards and 50-50s. Pop a clean ollie, it's super important. I pop a little bit off my heels on this trick. As soon as you clear the rail, start to turn your shoulders and board 90 degrees. Keep your weight inside the handrail and catch the rail just a little bit towards your front foot again. Now start to transfer your weight to the top of the bar, looking at the end of the rail under your front arm, similar to the frontside board. Your shoulders are turned to the line of the handrail and hold this to the end of the rail. And once again, pop out all styly and twisting everything back to your original position. Stomp it clean and get super stoked. Again, same approach as your front lips, a little bit wider than boards and 50s. Pop a clean ollie, a little bit off your heels. As soon as you clear the rail, turn your shoulders and board 90 degrees. Keep your weight inside the handrail, catch it a little bit towards your front foot, start to transfer your weight up to the top of the bar. Looking at the end of the rail the whole time under your front arm. Your shoulders are turned to the line of the handrail. Hold this to the end, and once again pop out all styly, and stick your landing clean. With pressing boxes, it's generally straight on entry, so you'll be stoked it's much cleaner and safer approach to learning this trick. So just like everything else, you'll ride in a little crouch ready for your ollie. Line up with the center of the box. With nose pressing, you don't want to ollie too high. The key to a clean and easier press is in your entry. You'll almost climb into the press. This way you have less option to drop your press because your weight isn't dropping so hard and fast from your ollie. Once you're in, you'll need to hold your press up. Put 3/4 of your weight on your front foot and lift your back leg to get the press even more lifted. Hold your press solid and be ready for inconsistencies in the slide. Pop a nice little nollie out. Nollieing out makes a sick nose press stand out from the rest. Stomp your landing right away clean. The key to switch nose presses is going to be a lot of switch 50-50s across the box. You want to get comfortable going in this direction. You're going to use the same techniques as you use as the nose press. A mellow ollie and load up your forward foot. Keep most of the weight there and balance it all the way to the end. And do a nice little pop out. The same techniques as the nose press again. Just get comfortable with your 50-50s before you start throwing switch noses. Crouch down a little bit on your run up and be prepared for your ollie in. Again, you'll want to aim for the center of the box, and you'll want to climb into this trick out of your ollie, same as the nose press. The less weight you have coming down onto the 5-0, the easier it is to keep it lifted. Land in your 5-0 with 3/4 of your weight on your back foot. Bone your front foot out in front of you a little bit.
Hold your 5-0 up by pulling back and up on your front leg, with your weight loaded on your rear leg. Hold the position and don't let it drop, and tap along the box. This doesn't count. It has to be lifted. Snap a little ollie off the end, suck up your landing a bit for a smooth stomp. The key to switch 5-0s is doing switch 50-50s over and over on the box, the same as your switch nose press. You want to warm up with this to get comfortable going in that direction. Once you've dialed that in, you're going to use the same techniques as you do on your regular 5-0s. You're going to load up most of your weight on your rear leg. You're going to pull back and up on your forward foot. And you're just going to hold this, don't let it tap, all the way to the end of the box. Do a nice little pop out and stick the landing clean. Alright, thanks for watching my video. I hope you've learned a lot. I had a good time going over these tricks with you. So I hope you get out there and get after it. Get some good style going on these moves and be super safe out there, alright?